your article. Really? What did you think? Well, I don't agree with it, if that's what you're saying. And why don't you agree? Well, you said Canada has at times failed to protect cultural diversity and promote cultural diversity, or something like that. Yes, and what's so bad about that? I'm not saying that it's bad. Well, actually I am, because Canada has always protected and promoted cultural diversity. It's good that you have an opinion. It's not an opinion if it's true. Well, of course it's true. All opinions are true because they're made up in our minds. Some are based on fact, and others are based on things we think we know. This just happens to be my opinion. I just can't believe it. When will you open up your eyes and realize that you're wrong? Just as soon as you open up yours. To what? To the fact that your opinion isn't the only one that matters. My eyes are open, and I see the truth. Why don't you open up your eyes now? Because it's my opinion. Tell me the facts that make you think your opinion is the only one that matters. Canada has always integrated different cultures into modern society, but you said that Canada has at times failed to protect and promote cultural diversity due to residential schools causing attempted assimilation of the cultures that attended. Yes, I know what I said. I'm the person who wrote it. So do you see how you are wrong now? No. But maybe if you explain your argument further, maybe I'll understand. Okay, picture this. You walk down the street, and what do you see? You see lots of different cultures, and they don't appear to have lost their cultural understanding, do they? Yes, but that's now. Thinking about the past, like back in the 19th century, the Canadian government believed that they were responsible to teach and raise the children from First Nations, Inuit, and Métis families. Otherwise, they might not be able to adapt to the quickly changing world around them. Thanks for the history lesson. But I'm sure they were fine afterwards. The schools were probably the same as the schools today. Besides, every First Nation, Métis, or Inuit person I have met or seen seems fine to me. Au contraire, my friend. You see, the residential schools were closed somewhere around 1996. After the people who grew up in residential schools got back to the reserve, they found that they couldn't help their families. And because of what they witnessed in the schools, a lot of them developed substance abuse problems. Didn't they get a bunch of money from the government because of what they went through? Yes, but instead of getting help, the ones that developed substance abuse problems spent it on things like drug or alcohol. Just out of curiosity, what did they go through? Well, students weren't allowed to speak their native languages. They had to speak English and or French. If they spoke their native languages, they were punished. The children were ripped from their families, cultures, and homes. They were placed in schools away from their communities, occasionally for years at a time. Many of the children were not given enough clothing or food. Most of the schools were dirty and crowded. A few of the children died of diseases. Others tried to run away. Oh my! Yes, I know. How many children were forced to attend residential schools? I think it was around 150,000. So, at the beginning of the article, you said, I was asked to write an article on assimilation. I was allowed to pick any example of assimilation as long as it happened in Canada. The example I chose was residential schools. The definition of assimilation is forcing someone to change their cultural beliefs and become like others. Yes. Then I went on defending my opinion. Yes. You said, I agree that Canada has failed at times to protect and promote cultural diversity because of the existence of residential schools in the past. Like I said earlier, I know what I wrote. I know. I just wanted to see if reading it through with you could help me understand. Does it help you understand? Yes, kind of. So do you agree that Canada has at times failed to protect and promote cultural diversity? Yes. Reading the article through again with you has helped me understand. I'm glad it helped you understand. And for your closing remarks, you basically wrote the same thing that you said at the beginning, right? Yes. I wrote something like, after doing research and writing the article, I still believe that Canada has at times failed to protect and promote cultural diversity. How did you know that? I told you. I wrote it. Right. Well, I gotta run. I have a meeting with my boss. Hopefully you don't get fired.